Welcome to LearnLogicPro.com. Today we're going to look at time stretching. And here I have a drum loop. What I want to do to it is I want to cut it, and then I want to time stretch it to the tempo that I'm interested in. So first let's listen to the loop. So I'm going to do this simple short loop. And right here is my cut point. So I'm going to bring a scissors and we'll cut right here. And then we'll delete this little bit. Now usually at this point I like to zoom up and make sure that I've done a nice clean cut. So we're going to zoom all the way in, and we're going to cut this little bit off the front and whatever's off the back. So I'm going to go in and just cut this little bit here off the front. Okay. And it is totally possible to edit in the arrange window. You don't have to go in the sample editor to do any of your cutting. You can just do it right in here. Okay, we're going to look at the end of there. That looks fine as well. So I've got my little my loop here, and we're going to make sure that it's snapped to the one, and I just drag that over the edge, and it snaps right on the one. And let's have a listen to this loop. Okay. So I want to adjust that to make this fit inside of these parameters. I'm going to get a little bit closer, so I'm going to go to say 115 here. So I'm basically going to squash this loop into these region parameters or length locators. And the way that you do that is first you select what you want to time stretch and go to audio. And down here you have adjust region to length locators, exactly what I said. Now, there are different algorithms or mathematic codes or whatever you want to call them, algorithms, that essentially do the time compression or do the math that crunches it down to fit. We've got the old algorithms, version 5 from the old, very, very old version 5 logic, and then all of the algorithms that have been after that. Here you have the new algorithms that are available in Logic 8, whereas a universal algorithm, this basically says, hey, I can universally time stretch any piece with this math. Here you can do complex if it's very complex, and percussive if we're dealing with a lot of percussive type parts. Universal is pretty much what you can set it to and time stretch multiple pads and drums and multiple sounds using, again, the same algorithm. So I'm going to leave that checked. You do check it before you actually do the time compression. So there we go. So to do the process, we're going to adjust a region to length locators. Okay, and you'll notice there's no key command next to it. We're going to set a key command in just a moment, but I'm going to do that. Boop. And it basically processes, and it fixes this loop now to our length locators. And let's have a listen. And there it is, over and over, and it's a clean cut with a clean loop, time stretched. So we'll do it again. We're going to go ahead and go down to, say, let's do 90 beats per minute, okay? And I'm going to time stretch it the other way. So here I'm going to go to audio, adjust length locators, and it stretches it, and here we go. Okay. You want to be careful with the type of degrees of time stretching that you do, and over time stretching something, because sometimes if you do it beyond a tempo that is within the algorithm's capability, you may get a little artifacts or noise in there. Okay. So when you time stretch, we're going to try a different algorithm, especially complex, and I'm going to do the same thing here with the loop. Let's change this to, let's do 125. So this time I'm going to do it with a key command. We're going to go to Preferences, down to Key Commands, and we're going to look for Adjust. Okay, let me stretch this out so we can see what we're looking at here. So we've got Adjust Regions to Length Locators. That is the key command for doing this time stretching. So I'm going to learn by key, and I'm going to do Command-Shift-T. And it says this is already in use, so let's not use that one. Let's do Option-Shift-T. Let's see, Option-Shift-T. There we go. So our new key command for time stretching is Option-Shift-T. So I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to select on this, and instead of doing this key here, and you notice that it now has a key command, We're using the complex, or let's try percussive. And I select on this, and it's Option Shift T, and we want to process this, and there we go, it's time stretched it. And we now have a key command for time stretching. Again, you'll notice it's here. And that's how you time stretch in Logic Pro 8 with LearnLogicPro.com.